Lindsey Williams, through a mutual friend, I got to know, just, barely know, but know, someone worth more than $5 billion, on the record $5 billion, a lot more than that, who owned a defense contracting company. They said 2 years ago, and that's why they left, they said they had to be gone by early 2008, that they had to be out of the country because, quote, the United States will not exist for all intents and purposes. And then now we have the Army reports and others, they know because they're doing it, that they plan to make this a post-industrial Mad Max Road Warrior country. Now, I hope that doesn't happen, but they are trying to do it. You think they're going to be able to do that, Lindsey?
I think they're going to be able to, and this fits in perfectly, Alex, with a statement that this individual made to me. And I've thought back over the conversation so many times, and just the other day I said, okay, I'm going to start using this. I don't know whether it meant what he said or not. At the end of the conversation, I said, now, mister, and I called him my name, this man that knows everything that goes on behind closed doors, that had called me the middle of June, I said, now, our family has actually, literally, I'm not joking with you, we have literally considered going back into the ministry. And he said, Chaplain, I think that would be a very good idea. He said, for you and for us. And Alex, then I thought over the next words that he said. He said, Chaplain, I would highly recommend that you do that. And he said, I wish you the very best in what you do. He said, I would highly recommend that you leave America and go to the mission field. I have wondered since then, was that man trying to tell me something?
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, when you're talking to well-known billionaires and they are scared, shaking, going, you're right about everything, you're right, they run it all. You can't believe how evil they are. Get out of here, get out of here. I mean, folks, they're not playing games. They're not playing games, and I want all the cops to know that. You're going to be asked to do unholy things.
Well, Alex, again, let me reiterate. And some people have a very difficult time hearing what you say. And when I said it was going to $50 a barrel, so many people laughed at me they didn't have time to hear what I was saying. Well, it did that yesterday, $50 a barrel. Now, please hear the second thing I'm saying. It is going to stay $1.50 a gallon at the gas pump. Take that trip at Christmas. Go to Grandma's house at Thanksgiving. Have a good time and enjoy $1.50 a gallon right now while you can afford to pay for it, because the price of the gasoline is not going up. But the money that you have to pay for that gasoline with is not going to enable you to even pay $1.50 a gallon 6 months to a year from now.
Explaining they've cut the money supply off to the people while gorging the banks full of it to buy everything up. They've made themselves cash flush with our tax money. They've cut the blood supply off to the economy. It is literally dying like a zombie or somebody who just had a heart attack and's got 3-4 minutes to get their heart going again before the brain dies. Lindsey, here's the $64 million question, or the $64 trillion question. Did he say that there was any way to avoid this, any way to get out of this, that there was any chance they weren't going to do this?
He made no indication whatsoever that there was any way around this, and the reason is they want to totally bankrupt the Arabs, and in order to do that, they must keep the price of crude oil at $50 a barrel for an extended period of time. That's the reason they're not going back up on this price anytime soon, and they will succeed in accomplishing their purpose and building new cultures and destroying the old, and in the process of it, America is going to suffer.
Well, now, Lindsey, I'm here in Texas, and I don't know any big oil company heads, but there's a lot of wildcats that are, billion-dollar, $500 million companies. Well, I mean, each well might cost $20 million to drill these deep ones. So they're, in hundreds of millions of operating capital a week. And I have talked to oil company owners who I run into and who I know in some of the circles of people I know. And people say, well, say their names. I wouldn't know them anymore if I did, folks. This is why you don't tell your sources. And I remember a year ago, before you even said this, they said, well, it's not going to be high forever. So that's why there's a lot of drilling and a lot of, oil and gas being pumped out now. He said it's probably going to go down for a while, and then was giggling about it. So this is probably not a big secret within the oil company executive class.
But, Alex, here's the beauty of this. When this man told me this, the middle of June, everybody, you're crazy. No way. Now, folks, it has taken place. And if what he said about this is taking place exactly like he said it was going to do, I thought it would take a little bit longer than this. But since it has taken place exactly like he said it was going to, you can depend on the other things to take place also. Folks, you have a few months to get ready. I beg of you, prepare the lifestyle that you are willing to live in light of what's going to happen. Now, that price of gasoline is not going to go back up from $1.50 a gallon at the gas pump. It's going to stay there. But the currency that you have to buy that gasoline with is not going to be available.
That's right. They've created a debt bubble. They've created a debt bubble by cutting the money off. It's impossible for the economy to operate, for people to keep businesses going, be able to pay their bills. Lindsey, I don't have that fancy of a house, but, any house here costs $400,000 or so, $300,000. Should I sell that and move into a farm shack right now?
That's something that you'll have to decide according to the lifestyle that you're willing to live. And the thing I'm telling people is, please.
But, a 4-bedroom is $300,000. Small, middle-class 4 bedrooms, $400,000 in Austin because of the real estate bubble. It was $150,000, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I guess I just because I don't have I moved to the countryside in a shack because, I get that money out. What do I do?
Well, sit down with your family, first of all, and discuss what lifestyle you're willing to live in light of what's going to take place. Listen to Alex Jones every day so you'll know what's taken place for the past 24 hours. And then, once you've decided what lifestyle you're willing to live, do something about it accordingly.
But I'm talking about myself and many other people that are lower middle class, just you're not even living in a fancy house, but all your money's in that house. The problem is that I just wish the global.
If you lived in Reykjavik, Iceland today, which is a perfect example of what's going to happen, the best way to do is look at what's happened to others, and you'll know what's happened here. But they say if there's any one thing that history teaches us, that is, it teaches us nothing. But look at Reykjavik, Iceland, exactly what has happened.
Stay there. Final segment. Stay there. Okay, Lindsey, I'm out most of the week next week with big best ofs. I'm going to be in Sun Live next week. So much is happening. Will you be able, because I know you're talking about leaving the country, will you be able to come on the week after Thanksgiving to give us an update on all this?
I'll be more than happy to, Alex. And in the meantime, I beg of you, the next 12 months, I produced a CD. I also produced a DVD. I feel so compelled to tell you it has happened exactly what they said. It is going to happen exactly what they say it's going to happen. If you'd like to know everything from 1960 through 2008, I beg of you to get my entire package. But if all you want is what is going to happen in the next 12 months, please dial this number. The number is 800-321-2900. Now, I beg of you, you've got to sit down with your family. You must discuss what type of lifestyle that you're willing to live in light of what they're doing to us. And in order to do that, you've got to know what the Bible says when it says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Lindsey, give them that number to get that DVD.
The number is 800-321-2900. The next 12 months, or all the way from 1960 through 2008, what's happening to the American food supply, what's happening to the farmers. You must know it in order to spare your household. 800-321-2900, Alex.
All right. In closing, Lindsey, and we're going to talk to you next week or the week after next as this happens. Lindsey's for real. He's been always, on target in the past. That's who we go with, is people that are accurate and who have great integrity. I hope that your source is wrong, but he's been right so far. And I was actually speechless earlier because my whole family's in Texas. I don't have the money to run to another country. I've sworn to stay here and defend the Republic. I hope there's a way to wake the people up now to politically put pressure on the bankers and the oil companies so they won't be able to politically carry this out. But if the public doesn't know who's behind it, then they're going to be able to carry it out. So I'm going to get an article written about our interview today up on prisonplanet.com by early next week, maybe even this weekend. And I hope the listeners will get that article out to everybody with the audio clip of this interview, and I hope they'll listen. Lindsey Williams, thank you so much for coming on with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Alex, for the privilege of being on your show to tell the world what's going to happen next.
It's a privilege to have you on. And in case people call me because they always, miss the number, give the number out again.
The number is 321-2900. You know, Alex, all I've ever done for 35 years is just merely voice what these people have told me. I'm just like you. I put on my britches every morning just like you do. I'm not a prophet. I have only told for 35, and every time I told it, it happened exactly
No, I know, because it's the elite. It's just like, that's why we go to Istanbul or go to Canada or go to D.C. to cover Bilderberg. It's the same crew. They run the show, and the public needs to figure that out. They want to bankrupt us. Lindsey, good to have you here with us. Take care.
Thank you, Alex.
Have a great Thanksgiving.